YouTube recording started, and we are back with Pillars of Eternity. So let's get into it. I'll be playing for a couple hours, not too long. Oh, right, no cussing. Or cussing, that's the thing.
When we were children, and the missionaries came to tell us about the gods. They told us we could see them in the stars.
Okay.
I remember when I heard that, I snuck out at night and climbed the watchtower in the old fort because I wanted to see them better. That fort burned down a few years ago when we cast the missionaries out. It was the missionaries who set fire to it. They didn't want us to be able to use it. Shame. There was history in that fort.
Do a lot worse if they ever return. Those missionaries are all inquisitors now. Strange to think they're the same people underneath, but I suppose you would know. This is your home as much as it is mine. Do you worry about it? I've been through worse. Trying to remind myself of that. It's nice to have the reinforcement. I miscalculated.
I miscalculated many things since this began. I'm relieved you weren't one of them. It's a good thing we didn't hang you. I always knew this path would have consequences, but I never wanted to see Kratom suffer on my behalf. I don't think I can stay here any longer. I am told the Inquisition is gathering an army, that they have sent messengers to bargain with rulers from distant lands. Kratom is not built to withstand a siege. If war is coming, I should be doing what Theos is doing. I will need allies. Allies in a stronghold that can resist an invading army.
You feel words formed long ago rising in your throat like a toxic black bile. Have you thought about Oceanus?
Oceanus.
Oceanus.
They have held off
Almost.
many would-be invaders, and their king has no love of the Inquisition's faith. I wonder, would he listen?
Interesting, interesting. Kill the shade. Don't kill that shit. Shadow. Kill the phantom. Just kill everything. Let us continue along. There's a nice amount of money on there. Grotto of Echoes, Burial Grounds.
Can't get a good shot with this. No!
Odd. went into me.
Can't get a good shot with this.
No prisoners! No prisoners!
Let's just toss in there.
Kill them all!
More burial grounds. Nope. Oh my.
Curse you! Bring them down!
Oh, these guys are really weak.
Another turn, Inquisitor.
There was signals and some unseen attendant standing beside a large crane.
I ask again, Yovara Ixensios, do you confess to these heresies of which you stand accused?
He waits, but Yovara only stares straight ahead, her face stony, the creak of her restraints only sound.
Do you confess to apostasy?
I confess to renouncing a mistake.
Do you confess to conspiracy against the one true faith?
I confess to opening minds.
Do you confess to false prophecy?
I confess to following a false prophet.
Indeed. And where might we find this heretic?
He wears the robes of a Grand Inquisitor.
You have no followers here, heretic. Your lies hold no sway in the court of the penitents.
Only my truth, then.
Another turn.
No! Wait! Wait! I'm ready. I'm ready.
You are ready to give a confession?
I'm ready to hear one from you.
Theo shakes his head and points at the Inquisitor, and the scraping grind of rusted gears echoes in your mind as apparitions fade away. Yikes. So that's down to somewhere that I'm not gonna go yet.
Looks like a long way down.
In the pit. Yeah, I'm gonna finish exploring first. Among the kind wayfarers, in the event that a member of the Order dies of natural causes, it is customary for the Paladin to request burial in a dangerous place that is difficult to reach. In fulfilling their last comrade's request, the other kind wayfarers forge new paths that others may more easily follow. When the Elder Paladin Adram Delphar died, his brothers and sisters set out for Red Flower Lake in a remote eastern part of Red Ceres, but they never reached their final destination. With so few kind wayfarers left in that part of the Eastern Reach, the Order has reached out for assistance in recovering their comrades and helping see them to their resting place. The towering stone creature is cold and slimy with fungal growth. Its horns look sharp enough to saw through lumber. Yeah. You venture through a doorway into a dim passage. There is still and musty. Light filters through the collapsed ceiling. A wall of piled stones and rubble blocks the way ahead. Any more perception? Rocks are heavy and appear to be wedged tightly together. Then Pelagina. Pelagina grabs a large stone and starts heaving. Dirt spills from the cracks between the rocks. Pelagina's efforts dislodge the boulder and it rolls free with a heavy groan. Other slabs and chunks of debris break away. The massive pile creaks and rumbles, finally tumbling harmlessly away from you down the passage. Light breaks in the tunnel up ahead, growing brighter as you continue. Soon the passage ends, opening up on the shores of the burial isle.
So much.
Alrighty.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
As you wish.
I'm just back here. That's what was there. Gotcha. Into the pit we go. A great pit lies in the shadow of the statue of Wodka. No light from the surface reaches the bottom, but even so you catch flickers of a ghostly glow in the depths. A wind from the pit buffets you. It isn't cold, but it raises goose flesh along your arms. The wind carries a whisper, low and sibilant. As you look into the pit, souls gather around you. They encase you in a cloud of essence that swirls around your body while you consider your next move. We jump in. Jump, trusting in the promises of the gods and the power of the souls to bear you safely down. Then drop takes your breath away, but the souls catch you, encasing you in a shining, thrumming aura. But while they slow your descent, you can still feel that you are falling faster than you should. The essence flowing around you is strong but chaotic. You find yourself drifting toward the wall. Let's see. Pelagina falls with you for a moment, but seems oddly buoyant during her slow descent. Feathers fluttering silently along her arms and the sides of her face. Suddenly, her golden eyes grow wide and she shouts out, "Look out, Stram, the wall!" Let's take control of the souls. Concentrating, you focus on the essence around you and knit it together in your mind. What was a jumble of souls becomes a single entity, coordinated and purposeful. It leads you to safety at the center of the pit. You manage to spread your arms and legs into an X, setting your position and the rate of your descent. You reach the court of the penitent's millennia-old stones safely under your feet. Nailed it.
After what seems like an eternity, your rapid descent comes to an abrupt end. You remain still for a moment while your heart settles and your eyes adjust, breathing in stale, forgotten air. Before you, a narrow and eroded walkway becomes faintly visible in the dim light, cutting a winding path through a cavern so expansive it seems a world unto itself. In the distance, you can make out the cold gleam of living Adra veins that spike and fork in and out of view from the murky depths beneath. Their glow a faint and fleeting guide along the ancient trail. You look above at the opening you jumped through, now barely a speck of light like some distant star alone in the cosmos and forever out of reach. Your only way lies ahead.
Alright.
That went better than I expected.
Think I dislocated my. That's better.
This place is cursed.
Enter Sun in Shadow. As the rise fall from the top of the Court of Penitence. Path before me leads through the Engwithan's eternal prison, and if the Delangan sisters spoke true to this Sun in Shadow where Theos is bound. Champ, you got this. Thanks, man. Do you know how close to the end of the game I am? This isn't it, is it? Wow, a millennium's worth of dust fills in the cracks and crevices of the skeletal relief. I was just asking if I was close to the end of the game, because I wanna finish up the quest before I get to the end of the game.
No prisoners!
It only tugs at your essence, a pulse from the world itself moves through it.
Bring them down! No! No prisoners! Kill them! No prisoners!
Can't get a good special enemy. Shed no blood. I wish you no. I shall.
Kill them all!
It makes an autosave and it says free endgame before the point where you can't turn back. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. Thank you for that information.
Of course. Kill them all!
Can't get a good.
Yeah, I jumped down the hole. Oh, this is the end game.
Not a good shot.
Okay. In that case... In that case, we're gonna load that back up. And, we're gonna go take care of a few quests. I don't want to finish the game yet. I got stuff to do. Oh, and I don't have the... Shoot. I don't have the DLCs yet. Yeah, yeah. I need the DLC to get a good outcome for this. I might just have to say forget it. Travel closely saw in the vision. See, I have no idea where it's supposed to be. Where the heck is Pearlwood Bluff? If you're all curious, yes, I'm looking up a slight walkthrough because I don't know otherwise. So there you go. Lord. Cool. Okay. With you concerning a local rebellion. Bad visitor. Okay. He leaves in 7 days. I'll make sure to take care of that. Okay. Oh, what's up, dragon?
Can't get a good.
Bring them down. Bring them down.
I win. Fucking, I love the wand I have. It's so nice.
No. Still alive?
My mind feels sharp as steel.
No prison. Bring them down.
Man, these Zaros just get torn to shreds. Anyway, how are you today, M. Haxwell?
My mind feels sharp as steel.
I'm gonna go check out the cave here.
not my ideal climate.
Rippling waves of heat rise. Oh, who got knocked down? Mother did. Alright.
As you wish.
Oh, hello. You're a big beauty, aren't you? Kale the Silent. Drake cocks its enormous head, looking at you. It issues a stream of words directly in your mind. Glowing, burning, spark. You, godlike thing. You come to take my spark, yes? What's the spark? The Drake coils his body protectively around something. Spark is an ember, warm, glowing, beautiful. It turns its head and to look at you. Out of one slit pupil, one day I will become a burning thing, bright and terrible like my spark. I didn't come to take it. You come to steal it with your cold, dirty paws. Oh, he's gonna attack me anyways. Oh. I wouldn't attack them. We'll have the wizards deal with Kale the Silent. Come on, go attack. Kale, you're surprisingly weak.
Bring them down. Still alive? Something sharp.
Of course.
Burning stone. A bright orange light blazes from the center of the stone. It radiates intense heat, yet it doesn't burn your hands as you hold it. On the ground where the dragon had curled around it, you find a stone that glows a brilliant orange. Yet it's cool to the touch when you reach to retrieve it. Terrence catches a glimpse of it, and his eyes bulge out of their sockets. He scowls, his mouth puckered as though having tasted poison, and he spits on the stony ground. A whore's cruel jest. The bitch has always known where to sink her claws to get a rise out of me. We talk about this stone you carry. This is part of the bomb that destroyed Aethys, the God Hammer. Oh, alright. Ask me on the road, Watcher. You're in no mood. No, it is not anger, you see. I am merely the victim of a divine practical joke, it seems. That will remain between she and I, Watcher, for only I am able to appreciate it. What's it doing here? One wonders. The bomb blew big, but it would not have sent fragments this far from the Citadel. The Drake must have carried it quite a distance, or Megan merely put it here herself. Is it worth anything? Ha! Ask Aethys. If you mean in terms of copper, there was a time when it might have been. The markets soon became flooded with the pieces of the Godhammer, most of them no more than the trivial enchantments of swindlers dabbling in wizardry, counterfeit. As there has never been a reliable way to judge a fragment's authenticity, and the would-be judges are often watchers, questionable as the artifacts themselves, their value has plummeted considerably. Ask any shopkeep if he's interested, and he'll try to sell you his fragments instead. Right? Oof. I'm trying to talk to Durance.
What? If doubts and curiosity plague you, if doubts and curiosity plague, there were 12 of them. It felt as if the staff was Margaren's own finger.
You looked indistinct word. Perhaps your eyes are blinded by the Godhammer's light, Watcher. I may feel half a man at times, but even that is twice.
If you fear for my spirit, your fears are baseless. The Godhammer, seeing its light, only fueled my anger and made me stronger. Made me re-examine the teachings of Margren. Put them in a new light. The cost of troubling me seems to worry you little. Is this some final joke at my expense? To test my faith further? And why would you think that, Watcher?
You didn't want anyone to know how the Godhammer had been made. No one knows how it came to be except few among Megrin, like yourself. I have enough of those. She's a bitch of goddess.
You answer a question with a question. Then why did I feel her disappointment at Halgot? Why were we shamed?
Mechanics 8, because I think she tried to kill you there.
She is a goddess. I still drink from her burning breasts, Watcher. If she wished me dead, she could trace me to my source and kill me.
Alright, stares at you, his expression frozen, but he's silent, listening. When we petitioned her, she didn't recognize you, you know it. You had been damaged as I saw in the Godhammer vision, then she may be unable to see you as you once were. And he turns to you, his face steady.
There's no proof, Watcher. I was a fool to think you could help me see any farther. That is all you have. A feeling.
Uh-oh.
What? There were 12. It felt as if the staff was the cost of troubling me.
Let's load the autosave and see if choosing the other option there does anything different.
What? If doubts and curiosity plague you, You're skinning your... There were 12. It felt as if the staff was Margaren's... If you fear for my spirit, your fears are baseless.
Nope, that one.
The cost of troubling me. Is this some final joke at my expense? If all you
3,
have, you
2,
answer a guilt.
2,
She...
2, 2.
There's no proof, Watcher. That is all you have.
Okay.
As you wish.
Let's see. No, not that way. And what if I were to go that way?
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Yeah. What do you think I'm trying to do? Hey, wood bluff. There we go.
If doubts and curiosity... Huh. I suspect... Some...
I'm just gonna skip past these.
If doubts and curiosity...
Oh, nope. Alright.
As you wish.
Do these look like the cliffs from your vision?
We shall wait to talk to Durance anymore. Bring the wind blights.
Bring them!
It's just walking around in a circle. What the heck?
Kill them all! So much for you.
Ooh, your eyes open to a familiar scene. Durance sits with his staff laid across his lap, a malignant flame sprouting from one end. He's difficult to make out, his features soft, bleeding together, but the staff you can see clearly. Its etchings aglow in molten orange. Though Durance's face is difficult to distinguish, there is no mistaking the hardened expression, the furrowed brow. His voice hisses and sputters, low and unintelligible, as though having a private argument with the staff. Traces of spittle catch the firelight as they fly from his lips like sparks. And you're surprised there's a female figure behind him. You are about to call out a warning when you realize it is the Magran statue where you met Durance at the fork. Yet, she seemed almost alive for a moment. Her cast shadow seemed as if it was moving, cloaked, then it is still, frozen with the night at its back. There's something odd about one of the symbols, a circle of 12 smaller circles. One of the small circles glows brightly, but the other 11 give off little light. They flicker and fade like dying embers. Between his hissing curses, Durance lowers his face close to the staff and blows on the fading circles with panicked rapidity, coaxing light from them, but they do not ignite. One by one, the light of the circles dies, and smoke rises from their ashes. Only one still burns. Durance hurls his staff at his feet, and it clatters to the ground. Its edges have become soft, built to find. Like its owner, the staff has become a blur. You close your eyes and reopen them, and Durance is there, picking up his staff from the ground, but the blur's gone, and you are awake. Any questions?
Curiosity plague you. You're skinning your knuckles.
One of the symbols on your staff was dying.
You see many things that aren't there, Watcher. Perhaps the symbol was for your disappearing sanity, and we are to bid it farewell while you still have the wits to grieve for it.
I saw a symbol with 12 circles. What does it represent?
The Godhammer.
It was the Godhammer symbol I saw extinguished on your staff.
No riddle there, Watcher. It took 12 of us to build the Godhammer. Afterward, I took my leave of all of them to see what Magran had in store for me. I've seen none of them since.
Are you sure there isn't more to that story?
It has a way of interpreting its visions to fit the version of the truth you like best.
You just yesterday I died so many times. Yo, it can be difficult. I've died a fair amount of times, over and over again. Your kind is a way of introducing. Okay. I know what I saw. Flames distort all that lies around them, and you never seem to be far from a flame. Flames may leave no doubt as to what or where they are, but why they are is anyone's guess. I'm gonna go with 2.
It's always the way of the mad to try to convince others of a reality only they can see. But the cost of kill me. There's no proof, Watcher. I was a fool to think you could help me see any farther than I.
If you don't trust me, then trust your staff. Admit that the other Godhammer builders are dead. Durance turns to the staff, and for a moment you see his eyes burning, taking in the edges of the wood, the symbols inlaid there, the 11 faded circles. Yeah, this is my first run. I'm actually towards the end of it. I just discovered the end, but I reloaded a previous save to finish all the bonus objectives. So I'm almost done with the first one, and then I'll be moving on to the second one.
They died in the blast, yes. The other 11. I was the only one to walk away. I thought we had wronged our goddess. That this was my trial, and if I could prove myself worthy of her! I should have known better. There is only one God of redemption, and I saw him ended.
As he studies the staff, you feel a wave of heat, a terrible energy rolling forth from it in waves. So much so it feels as if the Godhammer itself is alive in his hands. And past it you hear a cry, like a child being born, and your eyes feel the flash of white, then 100 imagined shades of purple and white, streaming and circling into the howling of a storm, and beneath it, the grinding of ancient machines of stone, rock, and metal, grinding and turning until all around you feels as if it's burning, sinking in the shadows of the earth. Beneath the ground, the only place where a spirit might find refuge. When your vision clears, you see Durance, his hands clutching the staff, and his eyes are bright, burning red. Atop the staff, the flame burns cleanly, brightly, as his gaze burns, he rips his gaze away and howls, a bellowing, horrid howl like a wounded animal, and sweat pours down his brow. We can make it right.
I served her. I followed her. Now I shall serve no one. Woodika's lies must be answered. And now it seems I must take fire and war from a goddess's false claim as well. I still take from her strength as I did, for as long as it lasts. For I shall not cast her aside yet. until I have drained her dry.
You know, good luck for your adventure and keep an eye on mage.
Just as she
They always do what they want. Will do, man. I'm playing a mage myself, so I'll make sure to keep an eye on us.
For I have learned one of the lessons of the faithful. The faithful
You have a good one.
is greater than any enemy. A purification is coming, and this fire shall consume them both.
Oh. That quest complete? That's quest complete. Look at that. A lively breeze ruffles your clothes as you approach the edge of the cliff. A cave mouth yawns from the cliff face. It's only a dozen feet below your position, but the weathered rock is too smooth to scale. A rock perches near the precipice. It feels like a sturdy anchor. Let's tie the rope to the rocks, securing it with your grappling hook, and climb down. Fasten your rope to the rock and descend. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind whips along from the bay. You struggle to hold onto the rope as the breeze tosses you around. The wind picks up and knocks Aloth into the wall. Aloth loses hold of the rope and begins to plummet. Without hesitation, Sagani reaches out and grabs Aloth. The weight wrenches Sagani's shoulder, but saves Aloth from certain death. That's good. Moments later, the gale subsides, and you make your way to the mouth of the cave. It was Aloth that can't do these things. Alright, let's find out what's in here. Oh, Dargools.
Bring them down. So much for you. Bring them down.
Nailed it. Ring of the Selenin, Ring of Wizardry, huh? +2 first level spell uses and +2 third level spell uses. Collection. I got plenty of spells now. Oh my. As you reach the edge of the bluff, you recognize the exact location from your vision of Persoc. He was here not long ago. Sagani stands alert, the Aedra statuette in one hand while she scans the cliff. You close your eyes, feeling the other for some trace of Persoc's presence. The darkness behind your eyelids takes shape. You feel Persoc running through the forest this time, hurtling and dashing around rocks and trees. The scenery whizzes by too fast. You can't make out the details between the blurred greenery. Something looms out of the trees ahead of you. Persoc finally stops in front of an Aedra Arc. Do you recognize a natural arc move? Let's see. Let's go lore 6. Inspect the arc. Remember hearing about this place. Supposedly there's a row of Aedra pillars nearby. Recognize it. You get no response. And number 1.
I don't understand the arcane stuff the way you do, but I don't suppose you're getting a sense for who Persoc is now.
No.
We're getting closer. Seems like we've made more progress together than I've made in a year.
What was he like?
Well, you ask. I talked to everyone in Masuk before I left. I heard he was a strong leader, a dependable builder, a caring grandfather, a wise elder, a generous neighbor, a cunning negotiator.
Might as well be one of those impossibly perfect heroes from the Adir epics. Probably all those at different times.
Many in Masuk weren't much older than me when Persak passed. And yet everyone wanted to make sure he heard about something in particular. Our trade with the Amawa, our successful hunts, peace with neighboring villages.
Persak accomplished a lot.
So few of us remember him beyond the things he did for the village. Most of his family members, the ones who knew him, are in their twilight years now. And Persak was too busy to spend much time with his younger relatives.
I see.
What about this Theos character you're searching for? Seems like he was someone important to you. What do you remember about him?
He's an authority figure of some time.
Hopefully you can pick up a few more clues about him while we're running around.
Let's go. Travel to Adir Arc in the woods. I'm just looking around here first.
Can't get a good shot. That's the...
No prisoners! No prisoners!
Didn't even notice that the Grieving Mother and Aeloth went down. Bay below, waves roll toward Defiance Bay, which is, I believe, still burning. "5 days before he leaves." Okay.
Adra Arch, dead ahead. Adra Arch, dead ahead. Settle!
So much. No prisoners!
An Audra beetle, huh?
Bring them down. So much.
Alright, time to pull out some spells.
No prisoners! Kill them all!
They got the priest. Dead on!
Kill them all!
There we go. Audra Arc looms in front of you, just as you saw it through Persoc's eyes. Sagani turns, watching the trees for a moment. As the arch's shadow falls over you, the wooded shore fades into a different scene. You're standing in another forest. Blackened, bare trunks claw their way out of the soil and keep a solemn vigil over the young trees and tender shrubs. You move slowly through the woods and the ruins scattered throughout them. Stone pillars and broken arches show the bones of some destroyed building. Between and amidst it all are elves and Orlons, their faces painted and their bows drawn. I assume no. In the trees, the stunted, charred trunks look like the aftermath of the War of Black Trees. Battles were fought all over the Deerwood and near Glenfath, and many of the deadliest fronts developed along the borders and behind major Glenfath and settlements.
I'll follow you. I always get a strange feeling near the end of a hunt. Like an itch on the end of my nose. I feel like we're close.
Not surprised.
After all this time. A part of me had already accepted that I'd never find him. That I'd be stuck wandering like this forever. I'll admit, I didn't believe you at first. Still didn't until now.
Okay. What changed?
Time around anyone since the long hunts in Nasitok. But I've gotten to know you, seen how you deal with Kith. Whatever else you turn out to be when we find Theos, you're honest. I know you wouldn't lead me astray in this.
What I mean is thanks. No one's done this much for me in a long time. Feels almost like I'm part of a village again.
Good question.
It's been hard to see a purpose behind the last 5 years, but lately I've started to realize just how much Persoc shaped our village. How his efforts and sacrifices are added up and made us stronger. Bringing his blessing back to Masuk will strengthen us and draw us even closer together, and I'm proud to know that I'll be the one returning with it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, we've got to find Persoc, as well as your quarry. It should give me time to figure out what I'll say to them.
I guess that depends on who he is now. I'd like to think that traveling for 5 years entitles me to give him a solid earful about all of it. But what really matters to someone in Persoc's position? The village he left behind? The family he likely won't remember? Must be lonely not knowing a thing like that. I guess I've taken that much for granted.
Onward. Oh, Sagani leveled up. Look at that. Swift aim. No. Plus 15 defense against AoE attacks. 50% damage against targets affected by damage over time. 15 deflection against ranged. Stunning the enemy when the ranger lands a hit or critical. Yeah, let's do that. The road to Red Flower Lake turned out to be even more dangerous than the elders of the kind wayfarers had expected. They believed that the attack against Adram Delphar's funeral procession had been carried out by ogres. Instead, Ader and the kind wayfarer initiates discovered Eotens, twisted two-headed ogres of incredible size and ferocity. Recovering the paladins' bodies was costly, with 5 more initiates dying in the process. In the end, Ader and 7 kind wayfarers reached Red Flower Lake. There, they held a service for Adram, Delphar, and the others that died to make their way to the summit. On the way back down, the initiates placed marked cairns along the trail to indicate when it had been cleared by the kind wayfarers, and at what cost. Got patchwork boots. Leaves in 5 days, okay. Wait. Alright, over there, whatever.
The figurine. It's glowing.
Our place has been cleared out, so... Oh, there we go. Come upon a clearing and see a group of Glenfathans standing in a circle. Sagani glances from the Aedra statuette to the hunters, looking for a connection. Meanwhile, the hunters turn and notice you, their bows drawn. What are you doing here?
Us. Even the keepers of the stone will honor us after this hunt.
They step aside and turn to you, and as they do, you see something on the ground behind them. Lying amidst the ferns is a white stag. Dark blood mars its brilliant coat, and its sides tremble with quick, shallow breaths. You feel a presence in the beast, something ancient and familiar. Before you can speak, something thumps to the ground. You look down to see the Aedra bear, its bright glow flickering. Sagani draws up beside you, her wide eyes fixed on the dying stag. Bell's face pales. Brass wheel, is that? One of the hunters takes a step forward as Sagani raises her bow and the arrow knocks.
Closer, and you'll bleed out next to him.
Her voice is low and tremulous.
I'd prepared myself to meet a stranger. To share the honor and history of my village with someone who had no knowledge of us. Even someone who'd scorn our way of life. I was going to tell him about the years of abundance in Masuk. How his granddaughters have hunted caribou, and his grandsons made our walls strong. But he'll be gone in minutes.
Remind him of his impact on Masuk. Kneels by the fallen stag, placing her hand on his head. She begins speaking. Tales Persock of prosperous decades of the grain trade that has sustained them through long winters. She recites the stories told about him and speaks of the new elders who have followed in his footsteps. The stag takes a final shuddering breath and falls still.
Your chanting. We need to get to work before the meat spoils.
Have you no respect? A great soul inhabited this body.
And it's gone now. What's left is our kill.
You owe an apology.
From the tongues of these characters.
Right.
Who revere stones and long dead Audra.
She slanders the builders. Very well. We leave you
Yeah.
in peace then.
Damn right you will. And there's level ups for everyone but Durance. The wolf companions are just staying. Alright. Archimere's Capricious Hex. Ooh, Chain Lightning. That might be fun. Oh, Death Ring, huh? Yeah, let's go with that. Spell Mastery. Chronic Lance. Let's go with Gaze of Aedragon and Zale's Martial Power. And we'll give him the Chronic Lance as well. Nagina. One enemy, one per encounter. 20% damage. Ooh, that'll be good for bosses. Ooh, but that would be nice. Coordinate attacks, passive plus 10 granted to an ally attacking the same target. Ooh, let's do that though. Wave manifests the target's and target ally's mental strength. Plus, yes. Disintegration. Go with those two. Durance didn't. Oh, he's just shy. Wow. What's that? And Vivate. Yeah.
Last thing the Deerwood needs is another foreign colony.
Nice 3 prestige. Game off. Why not? Heard a lot about you, Lord Stram. You seem like a man who knows how to get results. I have a matter I'd like to discuss with you if you'll hear me out. I urge caution, my lord. Lord Bringuar has gained a reputation as a man of brutal temperament. Some would call him cruel. Let's hear it. You call your allies together. Alright. As a ruler of Kedua, I'm sure you've seen your share of troublemakers, people determined to tear you down so you can share in their misery. I've had a few incidents on my land, rabble-rousing peasants, you see. Shameful as it is, they've gotten somewhat out of hand, refusing to work, threatening my guards, spouting this nonsense about unfair treatment. It's not as if I don't pay them. In any case, I fear they won't back down. The situation will only get worse if I don't put an end to it. What have they been saying? Oh, the usual, that they don't enjoy benefits of their labor, that they are treated too harshly. They're lazy, my lord, that's all. Power and mercy? Treat the people fairly, you jackass. Don't think themselves victorious. Consider a test of your understanding. You do better to speak with your people than to react with violence. Yes, well, I do appreciate the time which you've taken to speak with me. My lord, I shall return home to think upon the matter. And there's a level up for Durance. What's this all? Let's go with light endurance. After you're keeping a huff after deciding that your approach to dealing with the peasant uprising was too soft. Well, that sucks for him. Let's get plus. So it's a +3 to perception.
Have a moment to talk. A deer in the middle of Air Glonfoth. But I'm glad I can bring this success back to Masuk. And perhaps Persoc will return to us one day because of it.
Think Masuk will remember you the way they remember Persoc? It would be nice to know I've made a difference and to get the first choice of caribou flank during festival time.
The biggest relief is knowing that my journey was worthwhile. That finding Persoc and carrying our village's story to him will strengthen our community and return his soul to us. I'm looking forward to being back in Masuk among my family and my people. But more than anything, I'm glad to finally understand the purpose behind these last 5 years. What do you think? Do you feel as though you understand the purpose behind your hunt for Theos?
You know what happened to my past and why it haunts me now.
Difference. I hope they're useful to you. Anyway, Theos isn't getting any closer.
This place, as beautiful as it can be with the absence of children.
Let's do
You
For
walk your
endurance.
path, I'll walk
Bring
mine.
an aider.
Our
We'll
paths
dismiss the
will
Grieving
cross.
Mother for Kana.
Farewell.
Bring in her obvious. One I have not used at all. Minus 20% armor speed penalty. %20% grazes converted to hits plus 20% minimum damage. Ooh. 20% of incoming crits converted to hits plus 10% of. Let's do that one. And while wielding a single one-handed weapon, the attack's hits are converted to crits. Against targets with low endurance. 20% melee attack speed plus 5% DR bypass. Do that. Grace. Maybe. And minus 10 accuracy. Let's do armor grace.
Hey.
Because you're using the defender mode. She does a burning effect on an ally with weapons, or on all ally weapons. Wow. Allies in the area of effect gain a bonus to freeze and shock damage reductions, and bonus to defense against a prone affliction. Generates a hazard field causing burn and slash damage to enemies in the area of effect. Increase the deflection of all allies. We're gonna do that. Calls down a drake from the skies to fight for the party. That's probably what we're gonna do. Summons 2 fearsome ogres to fight. Was it Drake or the ogre? Boy, revives allies in the area of effect. Small amount of endurance. Attacks enemies in 7 directions. No, empowers allies. Let's go with the. Let's go with the ogres. Distant enemies. 20% reload speed. Yes, please. Plus 30% damage is burn, corrode, freeze, or shock. Bonus. Let's go with burn. When spirit shifted. I don't know how often I'm gonna be doing that, so let's go with the bonus spell. Steam. There.
Yeah?
Turn into a Stelgar, huh?
As you wish.
Hey,
I'm ready.
hey.
Keep on going. What is my... I guess Haravius uses pike or a spear. Oh, you use one too. All right. One-handed sword. There's one-handed. Interesting. Speed, range, deflection bonus. Giant. No, we'll pass on that. Safeguarding and exceptional. Incoming crits converted to hits. Grants bash. Do that. Yeah, I thought I'd found another one, but I guess not. Fragments are faded within within ruins. Yep, okay. Where are these people chained? Since you're using a one-handed, let's see if we can't find you a better one-handed weapon. Probably for now.
Bring them!
Wind Prism. And pedestals around depression at the top. It seems to be missing something. Okay, go kill those. I feel like we can easily just make Haravius a two-handed person. There's also something as a round depression, missing something.
That's it! Kill them all! I have them! Up! As you wish. Kill them all! Bring them down!
Yep. Fragments of faded and within ruins ascend the length of these broken pillars. Distance, something like that, or these experiments. Oh. Hey, the rain prism. And an old copper key.
This isn't that!
Okay. Oh, there's the fire prism.
So
On, get in there and kill. I'm probably gonna just send in one of these and do a good amount of damage. I didn't bounce at all, what the heck? There we go. More degree.
Kill them all.
That's it.
Hey, I lost the wind prism. A study. Garbanos' work must be here, somewhere. Oh no. That's probably his skeleton.
That's it.
Now it's dead.
This was Gabranos. This was the great scholar I was looking for.
Oh, he said he controlled the elements. Looks like that's what he used it for. But why? He traveled everywhere. I found traces of his work on 2 separate continents, and he ends his days here, doing this. Was this the source of all that knowledge? Those experiments out there? The bodies? He's one man. Doesn't mean you were wrong about the rest of it. Maybe, but I was wrong about him, for certain. I took him for an inspiration I wanted. Oh, no. Let's find the tablet and get out of here. The Earth Prism.
This can't be it. But the symbols. No. I was so close. Look, you can see there's his name. And these symbols. Virtue. Gods, the rest is too worn away. There must be something, a verse, even a word. Be like unto the waves. Be wrathful as the sea, anything. Is there really nothing? Not even to explain this?
When he looks about the room, his shoulders slumped. He bends over the shattered fragments, pulling the largest of them together. Removing a rolled piece of paper and a stick of charcoal from his pockets, he sets about forlornly making a few rubbings. Maybe you can salvage some small part of it. What, this shattered mess? I might as well bring back an empty piece of parchment. On a sighs and sets down his charcoal. He gazes down at the fragments. What existed once. It was here, whole. Maybe you're right. I was here, and you still have the phrase he found in Ixomidal. You were right. Tell that to the Lore College. Think of what we learned. We were the first people in 2,000 years to descend this far. Whatever's on that tablet, your people made the Anvi or Toa their own. What Gabranos thought about it doesn't matter. Let's go to 2. Yes, kind of blinks looking around the room. It is it is a great feat, isn't it? Well, we'll be the leading scholars of the day. Some of these smudges, at least, may hold meaning in time. I'll be glad to be out of this place all the same. I could use some air. Quest completed. Time and tide. However, I must ascend further. I still have pieces of the sword to find. Ooh. Wand. See, freezing lash, interfering and fine. Low and ein. Let's do it. Why not? Oh, slimes. You play it first time. Yeah, this is my first playthrough of Pillars of Eternity. I'm actually the main story I'm just about to finish. However, I reloaded so I could, like, I actually went into the end area where you can go back, but I reloaded so I could do this and do all the side quests that I haven't finished yet.
Hey.
Get off of the loot and pick it up. There we go. I think I have the Earth one. I don't remember. We'll find out. Yep, there it is. We're a traveler. Oh, what did I say? Come on now. Greater souls than yours walk here. Oh, her obvious is down. Before we do anything rash, let's take a rest. Onwards we go. Yeah, I got plenty of lockpicks.
Finished.
A vampire. Oh boy. Man, that Vampire was not messing around. Holy crap.
So much for you. As you wish.
Oh, is it another one? Are you freaking serious? Alright, kill everything else first.
So much.
Kana, what are you doing with that weapon?
Of course. Still alive? I need something sharp. That's it. No.
Our dauntless alien isn't doing so well.
Oh, they lost turn against. Whoosh.
Of course.
Ow. Oh, no. Oh. Are you too stupid to freaking go around? Oh my gosh. So, Aloth, what are you doing? The wrong weapon out. Obvious you too, what the hell? Okay, these ornate stone coffins are lined with age. Okay.
As you wish. So much for you.
Alright. Kill everything else now. And we got people petrified. Sweet! Friggin' lovely.
Yes? Of course. There's something ahead.
Let's have it
There we go.
Yes? As you wish.
The runes and engravings upon this familiar machine are naturally well preserved. The machine itself remains inert and lifeless.
Where there's a pick, there's a way. It's finished. There's something ahead.
before we get too far away.
It's finished. I have them. Bring them down.
Feel it.
Kill them all.
There we go. Perfect. Oh, there's a hand down there. The hand. There's his face. Another hand. He's standing in chest, obviously. Yep, there it is. There's the hand. These Starghoul aren't going to attack me. The center of this massive Aedra structure, beneath this long shadow of the Titan's curled fingers, sits what appears to be a man. Unlike the slavering animalistic creatures you have encountered on this floor, this man is regally composed, lounging upon a crooked stone throne, yet his gaze has a piercing, feverish quality. He watches you intently as you approach. What are you then? One of theirs? Strange that you survived the planning stages. He speaks in fluid and within, you note, though his voice is taut with strain. It must have been hard for them, those beggars, those cowards, but you won't go any further, no. You can't go right on back to them. Your masters, let them feast on you. You can go right back to them. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You can understand him, ask him everything. An opportunity. You understand? Look here, even the foreigners speak our tongue now. Truly, we are an immortal people. But that only makes it all the more clear, you see, you must be with them. How have they kept you so whole? You are remarkably well preserved. Attempt to pass, and you will go screaming back into the void, puppet. Who are you? Lord and master of this place. I should ask you the same. By all rights, you're trespassing, but then our great father is long gone. Perhaps he won't mind. You're in Gwithin. How's it you're still alive? Oh, no, no, no. We do not share information with our enemies. Go and ask the others. See if they recall. If they remember who it was that sustained us all these years. Searching for the master below. I see your own masters have grown superstitious. Master below, indeed. How easily did they turn from old loyalties? Think odd Noir trusted their like. I won't waste another word on the messenger, even if it's quite nice to speak again. No, go away. I've had enough. This will save me for another 100 years. Yeah, I gotta go past. No, not while they live. Those wretched, pathetic animals, greedy savages, a lot of them. You know, I think some of them have started eating one another. No, I won't waste the Aedra on them. Not on them. It's mine. Who deserves it more? There is little enough for myself. I will not share. Do you hear me? You can all rot. Take a great leap into the afterlife 2,000 years too late. What about Aedra? The Aedra will do you no good. You can no more make use of it than they can. Only I recall the rites, the spell work. If they were only more clever, perhaps they'd have learned it themselves. Too late now, too late by far. Better put them down like the carrion feeders they are. I'll let you pass them. I'll even answer your foolish little question. Let me be rid of these pests. Sure, why not? No idle promises now. Do this for me and you can go where you please. I'll have what I want. I'll go over this way before I try talking to him again.
Still alive? Bring them down!
Come on, stop being my friend. There we go.
I have them. So much for you. Following your lead. Let's end this.
Oh, we lost this down. Crap.
Of course. As you wish.
Oh, back here. I feel like I'd take him. Ah, good, very good. Yes, it's all mine now. No more of their screaming. No more for any of the more pointless demonstrations of power. Go on then. Go barreling down in the deep if you like. If the beetles don't make a quick end of you. Beetles? Ferocious old devils. They're what caused this whole mess. You can kill one easily enough, but there's a great swarm of them chewing through the Aedra. My Aedra. There's only the arm now. In any case, they'll tear you apart just as easily as they do the crystals. More easily. I had some questions. Who are you? Want a name? I forgot those ages ago. Who's going to call me anything down here? There's me, and now there's just you. That's all that matters. I was entrusted with the tests we performed here, the foremost mind of the age. None could rival me for arcane power save Odd-Nuwa himself, and perhaps some of his advisors. What was this place? Oh, many things. Our home once. And before that, a place of great deeds. Those fouled chambers in there were once the site of incredible discoveries. We were given the bulk of this floor. There was construction at all hours, of course. For all of our work was, of course, for Odd-Nuwa's purposes. Of experiments. Why, we were preoccupied with matters of the soul, all of us were, because Odd-Nuwa was. But here we toiled to find the dividing line between life and death and crack it wide open. We were attempting to find a means of binding souls to their mortal vessels, preventing them from crossing the shroud. I say tempting. We found it, of course. A dozen minds set to purpose. How could we not? The things we learned, what a glorious time. We could determine the precise manner in which a soul would crack and shatter, could carefully place a fragment from one into another. While our fellows wasted their efforts on phenomena like blights, we delved right into the heart of the matter. There were certain gaps in our knowledge, of course. I was perhaps enthusiastic in my pursuits. I thought if anyone should attempt a more personal approach to the test, it should be me. And no amount of certainty will make the imbibing of poison a pleasant experience. Death is the ultimate test, you see. If the soul has flown, then you know you failed. Work sounds similar. Yeah, Nancy, like what? Perhaps others follow in our steps. I have not had the opportunity to keep up with the state of magical study. How you stayed alive. The big question. Finding a soul to his body was not, it turned out, very difficult. We were certain we'd found a kind of immortality. The body could be destroyed beyond repair, but anything less is quite survivable. I was eager to attempt it. My leg at the time pained me terribly, old war wound, and I had heard one subject describe a sense of distance from the pain inflicted upon them. They felt it, but it didn't matter to them, which would be a vast improvement. I remember the first moment, the relief. But we found that after some time, the body would remember that it was, after all, dead. There's really no describing what it feels like to see your own fingers rotting away. The smell. We tried to revive the affected subjects with energy culled from their fellows, and it worked well enough. I was able to refine the spell work, keep myself and the others who joined me as hale as ever. Odd-Nuwa wasn't terribly pleased with the distraction, but That turned out not to matter. The mob came and murdered him, and we were sealed in here with the rest of his tools. But we still had the Aedra, you see, and enough souls housed in there to feed us for, well, as long as we wished. And so we had a time of it. We did. We were able to preserve the furniture over the years. We had little meetings in the Grand Chamber. What a nice little family we were, until it had to end. Here, you mean with them, the Aedra, all of it? That's a long tale, and my patience has diminished with time. I'll see what happened recently. It was the Aedra beetles. Oh, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't think it was something so small, so mundane, but they came swarming up from the lower reaches and started to feed upon the live Aedra. We tried to fight them off, of course, but it was impossible. Kill one, and 2 more are behind it. Something must have driven them up here. I don't know what. They all but amputated our Aedra limb. Not enough to support all of us. Not us, and the rooms, the tapestries, everything, but enough for me. None of the others know the spells required. Their only part in it was simply to lie in their Aedra coffins and be revived by me. So it was an obvious choice, wasn't it? No more than that. No more of that. No more of anything. I swore I'd burn them all to kindling if they came near. Fortunately, you made that unnecessary. Why did you do that to your command? You're soft-hearted, considering it was you who put an end to their immortality. They weren't anyone's friends. They would have licked the brains out of your cracked skull if they could. There wasn't enough life to go around. That's all it was. In 2,000 years, more than long enough to get to know someone. Think of it in this way: you sent them on their way, and they will live again. Isn't that a comfort? Working for the master below. None of us took such grand titles. The only master of this would be Aud-Noir, our king, our poor grief-maddened king. Would he call himself such, I wonder? Aud-Noir is dead. The mob would not have retreated without having killed him. But then, if we could preserve ourselves despite our deaths, and so perhaps could he. I am sure I considered the possibility once, when it had all come crashing down. If any man would prolong himself, it would be him. I wonder, was it he who drove the Aedra beetles up here from below, who stole our Aedra source? Does he mourn his son yet, the mewling fool, that he should resent our feeding upon this statue? A possibility. After all this time, it wouldn't surprise me. Can you tell me about Aud-Noir? Our great lord, a wise man in his day, until his son was lost in accident, some small, unfortunate turn of fate. You have come but a little way past the sealed chambers. You must know by now that Aud-Noir did not take it well. This monument to his grief has outlasted him. But his madness provided opportunity, a promise of immortality for all of us. If it was found at the behest of a grieving father, what did it matter? He had a flock of devoted servants. For we had to find the soul in question, to bring it back from wherever it had gone, to house it somewhere suitable, and such discoveries have cost, something the rabble didn't understand. Yeah, I'm gonna kill him. It was all for a good purpose. I'll show you, once our spat is done, just how malleable a soul can be. Your blood holds far more life in it than the Aedra. See what we got. Cleansing Wind. Clouds are up from the ground, petrifying and inflicting slash damage on everyone caught in the area. Check that out. Oh boy. Do it again. It. Obvious, what else you got, man? Enemy up to 8 times, causing burn damage. Nope, get out of here. Enormous infestation of venomous insects dealing raw damage over time. No. Those tormented beings striking enemies for no. Why are you standing around doing nothing? Kana's down again. Everyone in the cone. Nope. Notice the jagged rock to stab upward from the ground, dealing pierce damage. Nope. There's a monitor. Close limit. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I got it. Don't worry, I got this.
Come on, get back on your...
Nailed it.
Perhaps a little rest is in order.
Find second chance, huh? Launches. Ooh. Look at that armor.
Of course.
Thick rust veins of dead Adra worm their way through the statue's wrists and into the darkness beyond. Oh, balls. Alright, before we head down, let's go ahead and rest. Level 9. Oh, no.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. What is this crap? Found a key. Oh, ow.
I'm ready.
Of course. Where there's a pick, there's
Ooh, I don't have mechanics for that, huh? Interesting. Makes this 9. Base 11. Well, that's a nice look at that floor. We're gonna call it for the night. Go ahead and delete that. Now that I know that that's that. Alright. Save. And I will be back tomorrow for more Borderlands 2 is what we're playing. So I'll see you there. Bye.